You're thinking of going to Mexico and you want to fit in, so you need to know how to speak Mexican.
Oh, please stop. Mexican is not a language.
Yes, it is.
They just speak Spanish. They just speak Spanish.
No, not like you would think. If you want to do great in Mexico, you need to learn how to speak Mexican Spanish, and I'm here to teach you. My husband, he's from Villahermosa, Tabasco. He's Choco, born and raised, and this is how he learned to communicate with me. More like this is how he taught me how to communicate with him so we can understand each other. We're gonna start off really easy and I'm gonna ease you into it. When you make a friend in Mexico, that person is not your amigo or amiga, that person is your way. And the good thing about way is that it doesn't have any sex. Well, maybe they will have some sex. What I mean is that way is gender neutral, so you don't have to worry about who you say this to. Your way can be your girlfriend, boyfriend, non-binary friend. It's your friend. Now you have your new Mexican friend, and this guy, he is off the rails. Because you gotta know about Mexican people that they're a little bit crazy. They're super nice, but they're a little bit crazy. So this person, he is ready to party hard. He wants to invite you to the carne asada. And it's very important. If you are invited to a Mexican carne asada, that means that you are liked. That is a huge stamp of approval if you're invited to the carne asada. So of course, if you're invited, you can't just go like, sí, gracias, like, that doesn't even have enough oomph. That doesn't even show how happy, how much you appreciate this invitation. So if you're invited to the carne asada, instead you'll just go, a huevo. Feel free to get creative with this one. You can throw in a few other words that you learn. For example, you could say, a huevo, güey. Or, a huevo, qué chido, güey. Gracias. You should probably add on the gracias just to make sure that you're not impolite. Now you're at the carne asada. Wow, what a gift. You're meeting all the family, all the friends. You got the drunk tia, the tia with the what was it? At this point, I would say you're already pretty in, but don't mess it up. You still want to earn some points with the family at the carne asada. Therefore, it's really important that you stick to your Mexican Spanish. Don't start saying things like quiero cerveza. Like, don't do that. Do not leave it in Europe. Do it. So to impress, you could, for example, compliment the food. So if you look at the grill at the carne asada and you see some of your favorite salchicha or a piece of res or something, you could express how surprised you are, how happy you are that you see this on the grill. So instead of going, oh my god, so instead of just saying something sort of international like, oh my god, you could say, oh, this is so funny to me. It just is. But you could say something like, no, I'm crying at this point. But you could say something like, no pinches mames. Gotta say it with feel. It gotta be like, no pinches mames. Oh wow, they're going to know that you're really like, oh my god, I cannot believe this. But now you're at the carne asada and you're sitting, you're having conversations, people are getting litty as a titty. As the drinks are flowing, some discussions start to spark and all of a sudden somebody calls you out. And they tell you, wait, you don't even speak real Mexican Spanish, you just speak Spanish. But you know, because you've been listening, you know that you're great at Mexican Spanish and you're not gonna take any of that. So to prove them wrong and again cement your status as a great Mexican Spanish speaker, you're not going to say, no es cierto. Instead, you're going to casually say, no diga mamadas, Mary Jane. That is, you ate and left no crumbs. Lick the plate. With that sentence, nobody's ever going to question your Mexican Spanish ever again. Now the carne asada is over and I mean, needless to say, you've done great. You've impressed every single person at this carne asada. And your friend who brought you there also wants to show their appreciation for your attendance and your great effort in integrating into this culture. And while leaving this carne asada, they take their bag and out of their bag, they pull out a rose. And they give you this rose as a token of appreciation. Now, when you get a rose, you might want to say something like, qué hermosa rosa. Muchas gracias. Which is, but it's not great. It's not great. But here's what you can say that is indeed great. I thought I could get through this. Instead, you're going to say when you receive the rose. Oh, for a second! Don't say that. That was just me ruining myself. And the rose has thorns. Instead, you're going to see when you receive this rose, you're going to look at, it. Oh my god. You're going to look at the rose And you're going to say, y esta rosa. If you didn't hear that one more time, you're going to say, y esta rosa. Y esta rosa. I can't do this. Y esta rosa. And with that sentence, people are probably going to think now that not only do you speak Mexican Spanish, but you're probably also Mexican. And so, yeah, that's it. I mean, you're golden. I am certain that with these few phrases, when you go to Mexico, you're going to do just great. So that's the second part of Mexican Spanish 101. I hope that you learned something. I hope you learned something. And again, if for any reason you get into trouble using any of these sentences, I'm not to blame. Maybe only a little. Stay safe out there. I'll see you in the next one. Maybe.